Before I get into today's pattern, I want to talk real quick about the Whiting's Fly Tyer Variety Pack. One of the better deals in fly tying, usually around $25, but you get all kinds of cool materials in it. It's mostly hen, but all kinds of colors and variety of different hens. And today's pattern is one I came up with using some of these. It's this one right here, just a small neck piece of a hen, maybe a natural or dun color. I was on a little bit of a kick last year to try and come up with some patterns using minimal materials. And I came up with one where I use one feather here for the tail and a wing and a hackle. And I call it the hackle wing because it's one feather for the wing and the hackle. And you can get a lot of mileage out of a pattern like this. Just change the color of the feather you use or change the body color or body type. You could use chenille, you could use floss, wire, anything you want. I do it with chenille, sometimes with Mylar tinsel rib. The one I'm about to show you is a cactus chenille, but yeah, feel free to use anything you want. But I just kind of like the cactus chenille on these, and I have several of these, some yellows, greens, and oranges, purples even in my streamer box. So if you've never checked out this Whiting Variety Pack, take a look at it. I'll put a link to it in the description. And this pattern today, give this one a shot too. I think it'll do well for you. So there it is in the vise, just what I call a little hackle wing streamer. Pretty small guy, very simple to tie. And I do tie these pretty small. This is a size 10. I think it is a, Daiichi 2340, which is a 6 extra long Limerick bend streamer hook. Let's catch in some black thread, take it back to the bend of the hook. And what I use, just a hen feather. Find one that's got some tips that are fairly thin. This is just a natural, maybe a dun color from a Whiting Variety Pack. So I got one feather right here, that's going to be the wing, that's going to be the hackle, but my tail is just going to be a little bit of this Schlappen from the base. So there we go, a little tufted about like that right there. We'll catch this in. You don't have to worry about trimming this excess right here, just go ahead and bury it in. Now here's something fun with the body. Use anything you want. This is a cactus chenille just because I've been using it a lot lately and it's kind of neat stuff. But a body for this one, you could use yarn. You could use regular chenille. You could use dubbing or floss, really anything. But I've tied several of these with this little cactus chenille and I think they look kind of nifty. And I am going to rib it. So get a little silver Mylar tinsel here. This one happens to be a holographic. That did not stay. Let's try that again. Okay, now take our thread up here. Not all the way up because we're going to wrap a hackle and a wing, but just go ahead and wrap this body material up, whatever you choose to use for it. Okay, that's going to be far enough. Now let's go one more. Why not? We can always tie the wing on top of this. Now let's just counter wrap this rib. If I can remember which is counter wrapping, I think under on toward me and then over. There we go. And fold it back, a couple wraps just to really lock it in. And there we go, nifty little body and tail. Now here's the fun part of this fly. Go ahead and take that feather, the one we use for the tail, and kind of measure your however long you want it, maybe to the back of that tail right there. And we'll create a little opening right here. Okay, that should be fine. Do a couple of wraps, and I try to get it where it's just laid flat along the body like that right there. Doesn't always happen, and sometimes it spins around on you. If it does, I wouldn't worry the least bit about it. But several wraps right there. Now we'll go ahead and and take our thread up here. And we can have a big head on this if we want to, but just spin this 3 or 4, depending on, you know, how many fibers your feather has, to get us a front collar hackle up here. And we'll sweep them back when we build our head. So just, let's see, that's 3. Let's go 1 more. I might have gotten a little bit crazy here with this, but we could always trim some later if we wanted. Okay, it's a little bit of a mess right now, but we'll get it cleaned up here in a second. Snip that, lick your fingers, and build your big old streamer head. And don't be afraid to put a big head on this. That's why I'm using 140 denier thread, so I can put a big head on it. Okay, that's probably big enough right there. Crinkled up some of those fibers, but there we go. Let's whip finish it, take a look. So there we go, little hackle wing streamer. Clean it up if you want, you know, pluck some of these out, get in here and snip them, or just don't worry about them. But put a drop of head cement on it. This thing's good to go and ready to fish. So that's it, my friends. I appreciate you watching. Y'all take care, and we'll see you next time.